It is mighty strange, without a doubt. Nobody knows you when you're down and out. When you are down and out. Okay, Kit, how we doing?
Relative to what?
Well, we're starting our first show. This is the Two Curmudgeons show, sort of a pilot for a long series of shows that we're going to do. Two Curmudgeons, T2O, Two Curmudgeons.
Do you got any idea how long you want these things to run?
Well, we'll see. It's going to run as long as it runs. But people have been asking me why T2O and not Two Curmudgeons. And I just tell them you can't be too curmudgeonly. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't. I don't think that makes any sense at all.
No, it probably doesn't. But we're going to pick different curmudgeonly topics over the...
Right.
Yeah, I was thinking driving. Have you been driving recently?
Not recently. I'm sick now, and I'm not supposed to drive a car, so I don't.
Okay. So, but I just got back from Mexico, and I've been driving, and my neighbors, they got stopped a couple of years ago for driving too slow on Route 1.
Mexican? In Mexico? Or in
No, right here on Route 1. Between here, they were coming back from the senior center, having lunch, and stopped for driving too slow. How can someone drive too slow?
Speed limit means speed limit up, speed limit down.
I suppose.
Too
but
slow is fine. Too slow is safe.
Yeah, that's what I said. Too
Really?
slow is safe. And, well, they had about 15 cars behind them
Yeah.
at the time they were stopped. And the officer was kind of nice to him. He said, you know, is anything wrong, ma'am? She said, no. He said, well, you were only driving 35 miles an hour.
Well, that's the speed limit.
Well, people behind them didn't think so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I just got back and I started my car up. And,
You just got back from Mexico.
yeah, and it wouldn't go. It went out the driveway, it wouldn't go 20 miles an hour. And so I went down to see Colby and Gail, and Daryl said, well, all sorts of lights were on the dashboard, you know.
Warning lights.
Yeah, warning lights. When we were growing up, we didn't have that many warning lights.
We didn't have any warning lights. We might have had a brake light. That was about it.
That was about it. Now you have brake light, something that looks like a car swerving, another one, check engine light.
Right?
Well, you check the engine. I mean, if it's running, right?
Yeah, what's the big deal? Check engine light.
Yeah,
That means take it into the dealer and have them spend $500 on it.
exactly.
I don't want to do that. I want the check engine light turned off. Thank you kindly.
Exactly. So they can do that, but that doesn't mean that it fixes it.
No.
No. So now the car won't go more than 20 miles. And he says, well, that's your safe driving home thing because something's wrong with your accelerator. I said, well, you know, you push the gas, the gas goes into the carburetor or what? And he said, oh, no, it doesn't work that way anymore.
No, it doesn't.
No, actually the gas pedal has no connection with the gas at all. It's just through the computer. And the computer says something when you push the pedal and that makes you go faster, but it didn't want to do that. So, you know, I say, well, usually when things got clogged up, there must be something clogged up, you just race down the road and you burn it out.
Right.
Yeah. No, he said that probably won't work because it's all potentiometers and that sort of stuff. Driving too slow.
It's not good.
Now, the other thing is like, you come off Route 1 up here by Hunt's.
Yep.
I drove all the way down to Yellowfront, and I turn into Yellowfront, and this car comes up beside me. Says, you know, you've had your turn signal on.
Yeah, I'm turning. Why not?
Exactly. That's what I told him.
Yeah.
I'm turning. He said, but you've had it on for 3 or 4 miles now since Hans brother.
Well,
And they said, you know, we're old. Takes us time to figure out when we're going to turn, right?
right. You just sort of have to guess.
Yes, right. Ah, these drivers today too. You ride your bicycle everywhere. You did, right?
Yeah, I did until I got this disease. That's right.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm stuck on a 4-wheel vehicle, which makes me very unhappy. But well, whatever. Maybe I'll get better. Who knows? 1 out of 25,000 do.
1 out of 25,000.
That's right.
Oh. Who told you those odds?
I made them up. Took one look at my doctor and made up the odds.
What are you looking at his face?
I was looking at whatever he was holding in his hand, and it appeared to be a slinky of some kind.
A slinky? What was the slinky for?
Apparently measuring the length of life.
You
I don't know.
How many times it'll go down the stairs?
Before it flops over, right, and stops at the bottom.
So, but you're on Glidden Street. You don't get traffic down here.
Not much, not much.
Yeah.
Not enough.
But I come down Academy Hill all the time.
That's a tougher hill.
Yeah, and there's that funny intersection there. And you come down and, you know, cars don't know what to do there.
I like that intersection.
You do?
I lobbied for years to put in a rotary there.
Yeah.
The Board of Selectmen would have nothing to do with it.
Well, that would mean they'd have to take out that little park, right, to make it work?
Part of the park, yes.
Yeah.
Part of the park.
Yeah.
But if you look at the rotaries in Europe, a lot of the rotaries are at least that small, or not much bigger. And that new rotary they built over in Wiscasset that everybody hates, that thing works. It works fine. What's the problem?
In Wiscasset or, no, Bath, right?
Bath, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the problem I have is you come down the hill and nobody, well, I check the license plates because if they're from out of state, they have no clue.
Yeah.
If it says Massachusetts, you might as well just slam on the brakes and see what happens. If they come from here, maybe they know what they're doing. But the people will stop, you know, heading out of town. They'll just come to you and think something else is happening. They'll stop right in the middle of the roadway. What are you going to do about that?
Ram them.
Ram them?
Sure. Get them moving.
Okay. Well, the funny thing is, if you're right there, ready to come onto Route, go downtown, and you look.
You're in Bath now, right?
No, we're right here at the bottom of Academy Hill.
All right.
You look. Half of the people are on their cell phones.
Half?
Well, more like 3/4.
Okay.
And could you imagine? Can you determine what sex do you think 2/3 of those are?
No, because that would be prejudiced.
You don't have a clue.
I'm not a clue. I would be prejudiced. I'm not going to be prejudiced.
Well, you like to have women in your life, so you don't want to discriminate against them.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
But we could do a survey.
And I do like to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind which ones are texting and which are just talking.
You know, I don't even know how to text. What do you do when you
I
text?
don't know how to text. You do something with your fingers.
Huh.
Hmm.
Well, that's not good because your fingers are supposed to be used to guide the steering wheel.
You're telling me? But I was just at the airport. You look down the row of people sitting there, all of them have their hands clutched on some sort of phone or
Yeah,
device.
I know.
Yeah.
And it ain't getting better.
No.
There used to be a road outside of Boulder, Colorado, which they called the Mary Kay Highway. Because in the morning, when the rush hour was on, every single car was occupied by a single woman, and the single woman was busy putting makeup on with her handheld.
Can you text and put makeup on at the same time?
Women can, men can.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did this little video with my daughter Sienna where we imagine that people's hands are going to end up being clutched like this, and that they're going to have special operations just to open them up.
Because they're so permanently
Fixed.
bent into
Bent.
the position of cosmetology.
Cosmetology and texting. Oh, we've covered a lot of topics.
I would like to text. I think we should do the end of the show with you doing a text to somebody you know. And
I have no idea. I don't know how to do it.
Well, what about you, Teresa? You know how to text? Well, you can show us. I'd like to know how to text. That'd be cool.
Do you have a phone that can do that?
No, I don't have a smartphone.
I have an ignorant phone,
Yeah,
track phone.
yeah,
And I just use it in case I get stranded on the side of the highway somewhere.
right, right.
Well, have we complained enough for today?
I think so.
Time for nap?
Time to go buy some more pants.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
What's wrong with the pants you got on?
I'm not spiffy enough here.
I bet you have 30 pairs up in your closet.
Yeah, you could be right.
I mean, you want to look spiffy?
Well, you know, when women want to cheer themselves up, but they do is
Oh,
they go out
good.
and buy a new outfit, right?
Well, they're not going to look at your pants, are they?
Why not?
Well, I was over at the grill the other day, and the guy opposite spilled his wine right across the table, right onto my pants.
Hmm.
And he didn't even apologize or anything. And I said, "Oh, never mind, because it might smell better than they were smelling previously."
Yeah. Okay.
So, what size pants are you going to look for?
Well, I'll have to try them on because I've been losing a lot of weight lately. I'm unable to eat with this disease.
What's your waistline there?
31.
31.
Yeah.
How could I be 10 inches wider than that?
Well, I don't know. It's hard because you eat better than I do.
Well, maybe I'm just built that way. Anyway,
Yeah.
so what do you think about this series of, we're going to have enough things to talk about?
I think we will. The first thing we have to do is we have to get familiarity with our equipment. This is a black box, and you have to teach me how to deal with this.
You don't have to do anything. Everything just happens. We just have to sit here and talk.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah?
that's our only job.
Uh,
Oh, we've got to come up with a theme song.
uh.
What do you think our theme song should be?
Well, let me think about that.
We'll have to have something we can sing. Too grumpy. How does that compare to grumpy and curmudgeon? Is there a difference?
Not really.
Curmudgeon has more of a sense that we're thinking about something. Grumpy, I think, just means we just don't like anything. It doesn't matter what.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're pretty close. I'll have to check it out in the dictionary.
Yeah, well,
Find out how to use the dictionary.
the curmudgeon, I think, indicates that it's you're still thinking about topics that you're irritated about. Grumpy just means, why don't you turn the goddamn stove down and toast is burning?
Yeah.
You know, that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, are we signing off?
I guess so. We're signed up.
This is from
ouch.
what? From Kit and Art to Curmudgeons.
Two lost souls on the highway of life.